ain't it? I got that bitch change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day they take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Call us dangerous. Ain't too many can play with us. See where this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard. For your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I pissed so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't right it. We break you down like a
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing is Jackson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go. Two-time. 3 down. Hey, 40's Mike right there. 40's Mike.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Again, Jackson. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
To throw is Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Hey, keep it up. Check 3.
Jackson, options out left. And an alley to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz, and the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
Here's Jones on the return. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Hey, me and you, echo. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Jackson on first down. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
It's now 3rd down.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off inside the 5. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover. A big seam, and he might go all the way. 20, 10, touchdown, Detroit. Matt Breida, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, and he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, Field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams.
On first down, McCauley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Room to run inside the 40. And he'll be taken down at the 26. A first down there on a pickup of 25. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter as the Ravens push further out in front. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead now stands at 13. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Now it's Jackson. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 37.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Second and 12 at the Ravens' 27-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12. They go play action now. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. And his kick is good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Jackson operating from the gun. This one caught by Isabella. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be second and 9.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this second and 9. Jackson. That ball complete to Isabella. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brings up third and 5.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down.
What you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go. Here we go. Hey,
From midfield now, here's Jackson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time.
First down, Lions.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, here's Breida. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 44, Jackson. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll try and throw. Incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you punt the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
It's our field. It's our field. 56. Mike, 56.
From the 41, Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
After the interception, here's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. They'll keep it on the ground again here. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. From the 27, Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. Going for the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And the Lions first down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
This is Breida. A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
from the 39. Jackson. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 18.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This quarterback now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Now Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Watch the eye.
Gets this to Isabella on the jet sweep. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on first down. McCauley. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Double time. 3 there. Boom.
Here's Jackson. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous. Switch. Shift. Check one.
They'll try the left side. McCauley. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away. from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
48th month. Here we go, D, get off the field.
Here's Jackson operating from the gun. He's going to fire one deep. He's got a man, complete. And they do get him out of bounds finally, but the damage is done. A big hitter on what proves to be the final play of the third quarter. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. Being chased out left. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Enough to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Jackson now, throwing on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. A 4th and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down 1 score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
On 1st down, McCauley, and a healthy gain of 8 here. They double their workspace out to the 16. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson, option right, and an alley to run. Down the numbers, there he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 65 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at his 4. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
48.
From the gun, Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. He's going to fire one deep over, and that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 36 yards on the play. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Got a man, it's Brown. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And he's into the clear. The 30. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.